Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you some pencils, but since my pencil case hasn't changed that much in the past, couple of months, or month at least, since I did my last Best of the Pencil Case video, I'm going to show you guys something a little bit different. So recently I got contacted by a guy named Walter, and he sent me some pencils, and since he's out in Guatemala, he asked me if any of the pencils, he sent me a picture, caught my eye. I said, well, all of them. And you know what? He sent me all of them. Now, they're not just Bic Evolutions. Although, the Bic Evolution, here's the box. Never seen one of these before. At least, not a whole box of them. I have a couple from when I went to Germany, but not in these wild colors. So, without some further delay, I'd like to thank Walter once again for sending me these pencils, and let's open them up and see what we got. So first of all, he packed them extremely well. This is to prevent any of the broken tips, from occurring at all. So he just put this little piece of cotton right there. It was really nice of him. Let's open this first box up and see what we got here. All right. So, let me turn these around so you'll be able to read the names. First up, we got the Schwan Stabilo Othello. Now, Stabilo, as you may know, is famous for its .88 line of markers, and they make highlighters too, like the Stabilo Boss. But most of these pencils in here, I've already taken a look, of course, and most of them I've never seen before. So it's really quite cool to see these in person. And to own them. Schwan Stabilo Othello, 282 Germany, HP 2.5. Let's take a write, shall we? Here. Got a notebook right here. Let's feel how it writes. Yeah, this really does not feel like a 2.5. It feels more like a number 2, which makes sense because they have it said HB right here. I guess they're following the Faber-Castell numbering system. And it's got a red tip. I'm assuming that all the different lead hardnesses have different end caps, I guess. Caps. Alright, next up we got the Staedtler art number 133-9. There's no name on here, apart from the number, but as you can see, it looks quite cool with all these sort of pseudo-jeweled look dots here. Really, they're just sort of indentations. They kind of look like this. And if the pencil body is like this, that's... Wow, this is a pretty soft pencil. Nice matte black finish. I really appreciate this. And of course, factory sharpened. This looks a lot like the Staedtler Mars Lumograph factory sharpening, which makes perfect sense. Actually, you know what? Let me look up this pencil real quick and see what it is, in fact. Whoa. Oops. Alright, I'll look it up later. And I'll link it in the video somewhere. But yes, great pencil. Next up, we got a few of these here. Oh no, just a couple, I guess. Bullock 284, K66. I don't know much about this pencil, but it looks kind of like a knockoff of the Eberhard Faber Mongol 482. And it's clearly meant to invoke that. I mean, I have some vintage 482s that look just like this. As you can see, this is kind of poorly finished. The ferrule sort of was jammed onto there, and as such the wood is sort of splintering near the edge. It's kind of weird. Both of these pencils have this sort of a problem. You can kind of see it here too, I hope. There, that should focus. See that right there? That little bit of paint chipping. But let's see how they write with this sandpaper factory sharpening. Yeah, writes decently enough. Erases decently, I guess. Yeah, on this steno paper, this notebook is really smooth. Actually, it's made by Skillcraft. Skillcraft steno book with this bagasse paper made from sugarcane. So it's really smooth paper. In fact, it's the most fountain pen friendly paper I've got on campus right now. Nice pencils. Another Schwan Stabilo, this time Micro 8000 in F hardness. And we have the nice little Schwan there, or Schwan. See how this one writes. Once again, extremely smooth, yet a little bit on the lighter side. You know, just a little. It doesn't feel like an F, again. It feels more like an HB. Maybe that's just my scale messed up in my head. Next up we got the Maped Black Peps HP equals 2. There, we're going with a more American scheme there. Made in Vietnam. And yeah, it's got the barcode. It's a triangular shape, as you can see, like that right there. You can see it quite clearly. This one they used to sell at my bookstore, the Union bookstore here on campus. For a short time I saw them and then I didn't see them. But I did find one on the street actually. This is the one that I found. It's pretty beat up. It was on the sidewalk. But it's the same thing. So, yeah, there you go. This is what it looks like aged, and this is what it looks like brand new. How does it write? Nice dark line, although it doesn't seem like the point holds up very well over long periods of writing. How does the eraser work? Decent. Not so great, but hey, it's triangular, so there you go. Pretty comfortable to write with. And here's another Maped sort of triangular pencil. Maped Essentials, HB equals 2, once again. And of course, made in China. It's got the barcode and everything on one side of the pencil, which is something I don't normally see. And it's, you can see that there, triangular. And here we've got some classics, the Stedler Tradition HB. This one is copied over and over again. Especially the couple times I've been to India, you see the Nataraj 621, and that pencil is a blatant knockoff of this one. I mean, it looks almost identical. I'll link to that one as well. The art number is 110 HB, although you guys probably knew that. How does it write? Of course this is going to write extremely well, because it's a Stedler, you know. As expected, nice dark line, precise, yes, dense graphite, and pretty decent point retention actually. Oh, here's one that's kind of neat. Facela.com Master 2 HB. You can see that there. The finishing isn't that great. You can see the roughness of the paint finish. But this one's interesting because the hexagonal sides are flat. They're completely flat, and there's a point there instead of, you know, the traditional sort of rounded off corners, if you can see the difference here. Let's flip this around. I don't know if you can see that, but this one has much more stark corners than the Stedler Tradition. And that makes for a different writing experience. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of it, but I know the Dixon El Dorado pencil also has this design. You can see the factory sharpening there, pretty rough sandpaper style. And of course the ferrule again is a knockoff of the Mongol 482. Let's see how this writes. Decently dense line, although the point retention I think is terrible. I can visually see the amount to which the point is ground down just from that bit of writing. So, anyway, And here's one of these Staedtler's yellow number 2 pencils. The standard number 2 pencil, but with a Staedtler name slapped on it. I wonder how this one's going to perform. Feels kind of cheap. I don't know. Feels like a cheap pencil. And it looks like a cheap pencil as well. Although, it's finished alright. You can see there towards the ferrule there's a bit of paint chipping. Just the sign of something, you know, not necessarily well quality controlled. And the lead is decently centered though, so I'm not so sure. Feels nice enough and decent enough to write with, so can't complain for the probable price point. And here we have another K66 pencil, this time Economico number 2. Please forgive my pronunciation, I don't speak Spanish. And there we go. You know, standard number 2 pencil. Nothing special. Alright, and on to box number 2. Now might be a good time to look at the box of the Bic Evolution colors. I'm assuming most of you guys haven't seen a box of these, because according to the YouTube analytics, most of you guys are in America, just like me. So, here we go. This is in Spanish, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Got the side of the box. Gives you language lessons in all different languages. Let's see if we can focus that close. And we can. Yeah, there we go. Other side is the same thing. In here. Made in France. Bic Evolution. 12 pencils. Let's open it up. Alright, so lay these out this way. Oh, I spy some Bic Evolutions in here. Sweet. Okay. So here, we got this nice little pencil grip on there. Put that aside. Comfort Bolic 284. Now this one's supposed to be comfortable. How does this compare to the original Bolic 284 that we've come to know and love? You know what? I'm not so sure what makes this one the comfort version. They both seem identical to me. Yeah. Okay, let's see how that writes. Noticeably harder lead, even though the number is still 2. It feels like a harder 2. I don't know. I don't know. Here's another. Oh, here's a Bolic triangular pencil. Oh, you can see that the imprinting didn't quite make it to the side there, but since it's sort of rounded off triangular edge anyway, I don't think there is really a flat side. I like the playful font that they chose for triangular. Quite nice, actually. I like that font. Here's another K66 Economico and another Bolic triangular. Let's put those aside. Here's a Pelikan pencil. Now, Pelikan is known for their fountain pens and also their markers, but not so much pencils. At least wooden pencils, not around here. I guess wooden pencils are a bigger thing in Guatemala and France and other European countries, because we don't seem to get many of them. Papermate has taken over here. As you can see, the lead is horribly centered. The wood has already come up, has come up this whole side here, so essentially making that side of the point useless. See how it writes. Yeah, and you can see like the finishing, this paint blobbing and stuff. That's just strange. I would never think Pelikan Triangular Mediano. I wouldn't think that they would make a pencil such as this one. But let's try and see how it writes, I guess. Yeah, doesn't feel that great to write with, honestly. It's scratchy, and the lead line isn't super dark. So, yeah. It's strange that they would make a pencil like this and put their name on it. How does the eraser work? Yeah, decent. And here we have these Bic Evolutions. These are interesting pencils in that they're made out of plastic, so extruded plastic, similar to the Sanford Eagle of the 90s. If you guys remember those when you were kids, or when I was a kid. These are interesting pencils. They're nice and colorful, wild pencils. They look like wood, but they are not. And, of course, you got the colorful plastic ferrules here, too. You can tell they're not wood by... I can bend it quite a bit. I'm not going to snap it off. But if you do break one of these, it snaps cleanly. It doesn't snap, like, splintery and stuff. But you can clearly see that I can bend this quite a bit, whereas, like, with a wooden pencil, you can't really bend it at all. How do they write? In my experience, they write pretty smoothly. Check out that point. Look at how blunt of a tip that is. It's just flattened. It's kind of funny. Typical for these plastic extruded pencils, the lead is quite light. And it's not very smooth to write with, but hey, for a plastic pencil, you know, you can't go wrong. With that, also, the shavings that you get from plastic pencils are nice and cool, sort of curly shavings. So you want to save those, and you want to use a hand sharpener on these only, because they'll screw up electric sharpeners. Here's another Pelikan Mediono, this time a normal hexagonal shape. I'm assuming it writes the same way. Yep. Bit scratchy. And yeah, just an average pencil, not too bad. And another Facela.com pencil this time, triangular. They seem to love their triangular pencils. Thanks for sending me these triangular ones. I don't have that many here. The only one I've really seen in stores is the Ticonderoga Tri-Write, which is a decent pencil again, but nothing compared to, for example, the Stutters tradition that we saw earlier. This is soft lead. This is extremely soft. Wow. Yeah. Sort of like glides along the paper. This is actually quite nice compared to the other Facela.com pencil. Yet they still all say 2HB. Last but not least, we have the Staedtler Norris Eco in 2HB, made in Germany. This one is finished quite nicely, and you've got the standard ferrule with the eraser on there, and a factory sharpening. This one is made out of the same stuff I think that the Wolpex pencils are made out of. Those are the extruded plastic pencils. I have one of them right here, actually. Looks like that. I have a feeling these are kindred souls. I think they're pretty much the same thing. So, yeah, they're both about the same weight. They feel about the same in the hand. The Wolpex actually feels a little bit heavier, but let's just try it out. Yes, compared to the Bic Evolution, this one works much better. And the thing is, I think that Staedtler got this formula down on lock. Apparently it's 70% wood, but 30% like plastic or something. Maybe I have those proportions mixed up. But either way, this one doesn't bend quite as much as those pure plastic pencils. And it also writes much more smoothly and much closer to like an HB. Whereas those are more close to, I think, an H in terms of their lead, you know, imprint darkness. So here you have it, the Staedtler Norris Eco. And that about rounds up the pencils that I got from Walder. So thank you again for sending them to me, and be sure to subscribe to the Erasable Podcast. That's where I met him, on the Erasable Podcast Facebook page. Or, well, he contacted me through there. So, yes, be sure to check them out. Be sure to check out Walter. He's cool. And yes. So, once again, this has been Super V Power in a special edition of Best of the Pencil Case. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then.